y'all better grab y'all a pen and a piece of paper, something to sip on or drink, and a little snacky, because we are going to cover everything today in this one video about goldenrod, okay? How to look for it, how to harvest it, how to use it, its medicinal benefits. We're going to cover all that in one video, and it's going to be a long one, so get comfortable, okay? Let's go. Do y'all see what I have in my hand? Do you know what this is? Today I'm going to show you what this is, why you need it in your medicine cabinet, and how we're going to prepare it to go in your medicine cabinet, and all the healthy benefits of it. Okay, so stick around. Hey y'all, welcome to today's video. My name is Tracy. I'm the keeper of the home here at 4D Farms. And I kind of got y'all a little intrigued, don't I? Okay, this flower, this plant is called goldenrod. Okay, now don't fret, because goldenrod gets a little bad name every once in a while, and a little bad reputation. There, it's okay. I know. It gets a bad reputation because people get goldenrod confused with ragweed, not in appearance, but people want to blame their allergies and all these pollen alerts that goes off on your phone if you have a weather app on your phone, and think that their allergy problems are coming from all these pretty yellow flowers that they see just blooming everywhere in the fall. Well, guess what? Ragweed blooms in the fall too. Ragweed is the plant that is causing the allergies because of the pollen and stuff that it puts off. Not this one, okay? I'm sorry you get such a bad rap, okay? Don't let these two plants fool you. Google it, the difference between ragweed and goldenrod. It plainly says this gets blamed all the time for those fall allergies that you get, okay? Not ragweed, but it's supposed to be the other way around. They both bloom at the same time, okay? Ragweed is the one that, because of the kind of plant that it is, it's the one that puts off the allergy problems, not this one. Did y'all know that goldenrod is actually an anti-allergy? So see, y'all don't be beating up on goldenrod, okay? Don't be giving it such a bad name. Goldenrod is a medicinal plant. And in this clip, I'm only just going to show y'all how I'm going to be using this, what I'm going to be using it for, and the different ways that you can prepare your leaves and your flowering part to use for a lot of different things, okay? In the next part of the video, we will discuss the medicinal benefits, all the things that this plant is good for. You would not believe all the medicinal properties that helps with all these different kinds of ailments, and we'll get in that in the next part of the video. But in this part, I want to show y'all how I'm going to be preserving mine. By all means, you can use fresh flowers, okay? And we'll talk about, while I'm preparing mine, I can go ahead and tell you some ways that you can use this, and you can use fresh flowers if you want to, okay? But I'm going to take the extra time to dry mine. Maybe sometime later on, I will use fresh flowers. But right now, I really don't have the time on my hands to do them fresh right now, so I'm going to choose to dry these. If I collect some more, then, and if I'm able, then I'll turn around right then and process them fresh. But while I'm getting mine prepared, let me tell you all the different things that you can all the different ways that you can preserve these, okay? And then when I get ready to preserve them, that will be probably the last part of the video, okay? Because this is going to be a running video. It's probably going to take me like a few weeks because these have got to go through a drying process. And then, so it's going to be a running video. So that'll be the last part of the video. But what I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be choosing to dry mine. By all means, if you want to use fresh, I just dropped that. You're going to need some twine if you are going to be drying these. I got to find the end of my little line here. My rope. Where is it? Okay, let's see. All the different ways that you can preserve these. You can take fresh or dried flowers, and you can rip off the y'all, I can't find the end of my, I think that's it right there. I've got it on here pretty good. You can take your fresh or dried flowers and store them like in a jar and use for teas, which is exactly what I'm going to be doing with this bunch right here. I want to make an herbal tea. Then there's things that's called, y'all, honestly, I swear, where is the end of that little thing? There it is. It was glued on the very end. You can make what is called, it's on the tip of my tongue, y'all, and I'm researching it, and I will probably do some. I just don't have all the equipment. Tinctures. Tinctures. Tinctures are kind of like preserving them in an oil, an alcohol, apple cider vinegar, or glycerin, okay? It's like oil pulling, okay? Extraction. You're going to put either your fresh or dried herbs in a jar, and then you're going to cover all the contents in the jar with one of those four choices. You're going to let them steep for a long time, okay? You're going to let them steep for give it at least 4 weeks, okay, to steep in this jar. Those four properties, the oil, the vinegar, the alcohol, or the glycerin, extracts all of the oils and the medicinal properties that is in the plant into the liquid, like an infusion, okay? Then when it's time to use them, after they have steeped for so long, I'm gathering bunches, about 4 to 5 bunches. I may do 6, just depends. I think I can go some more. When they've steeped for like 4 weeks, then you take the lid off. Then you're going to strain and separate the liquid from the flowers, okay? Now, if you're doing a tincture and you used, not the oil, okay? You can use the oil if you want to, but if you were to take this in tincture form, you would have to put it in something where you didn't get the oil in your mouth, okay? Whatever. But if you did it in like a glycerin or vegetable glycerin, I need to research that more. Vegetable glycerin or apple cider vinegar or alcohol. Y'all, I have a conviction about alcohol, okay? If I get to the point where I feel like I need to use the alcohol, me and the good Lord's going to have a talk, and he's going to have to make me comfortable going and purchasing a bottle of alcohol. Okay? Because honestly, I just can't do it. It's my conviction. I don't use alcohol. I don't drink it. I don't want it in my house. But that's just me. You do you. I'm going to do me. And I'm probably going to use apple cider vinegar because y'all, apple cider vinegar already has health benefits anyway, so I'm going to be getting a double whammy. If you want to use alcohol, by all means, go ahead. And I just have a conviction, y'all, and like I said, if I ever get to the point to where I need to use the alcohol, I guess I'll bite the bullet, and God will just say, I got you, child. I got you. This is going to be for medicinal purposes. You're going to be fine, okay? So, but y'all preserve them the way that you want to, okay? But I've seen a lot of people do it in oil, like avocado, olive oil, grapeseed oil, coconut oil. Now, coconut oil might be a good option because that will taste a little better. But if you're doing a tincture, and I will get to that later. Right now, my first thing that I've been researching and studying and learning is making a tea with it first, okay? The tincture is, I've got to get the little amber bottles that has the droppers to them. I need to get some of those. So that will be my next step. Maybe if I gather some more and I dry some more, or I use fresh, I'll make a tincture with. And if I do, I'll do another video on it, okay? And then you can just save these and say, okay, I think I'm going to save this one because I'm going to try that. I'm going to save that video. I'm going to try this one. Just save them on you a playlist, okay? Let's see. I think I got a good bunch going on here. Oh, there is a whole lot more different ways, y'all, that you can dry these. Let me touch on that just for a second before I get to the other ways that you can use these. Let's talk about drying them. First, I'm going to just do this the old-timey way. I'm going to take a bunch and I'm going to tie this string around it. And we are going to find a nice, cozy little sunshiny spot, maybe like in a window somewhere or something. And you're going to hang these upside down and just let them dry naturally, okay? Air dry. You can take these and line you some cookie sheets out on a table or a counter or in a spare room somewhere, and just lay them out on that cookie sheet or that baking sheet and let them air dry. You can lay these out on a pillowcase, a blanket, a sheet, on a floor somewhere. Let them air dry. What's another way? Dehydrator. You can dehydrate these, speed up the process. I lost my string, y'all. I think it just fell off the porch. I'm gonna have to cut me another string because now I can't find it. Nope, it's draped across my lap. Okay, now we're gonna take this string and we're just gonna bundle these up and tie it. You want to leave like a little loop at the end or something so you can hang these on a nail somewhere. But you're going to hang these upside down, okay? Weather permitting, you can hang them outside till it starts getting like, you know, a little coolish or no frost or anything like that, depending on when you harvested them. I got to turn this over. I can't put my finger there. I need a finger, somebody to hold this knot. Anyway, let's see, dehydrating. Y'all, some people have the Harvest Right freeze dryers. Y'all, that is something else I'd like to save up the money for or take out a loan for. Those things are expensive to get a Harvest Right freezer. But I know, y'all, if I was to purchase one, it would be well worth it because, y'all, we can use that thing for garden produce, everything. Check into the Harvest Right freezers, y'all. All right, I got me a little loop here. You can hang this on a nail, okay? Let them air dry. Let's just keep talking, keep bundling while I talk, okay? Let's see. That's one bundle. Let's see. A Harvest Right freeze dryer. Y'all, I'm really wanting one of those. Maybe if I'm a good girl, 1 year. Oh man, that means I'm gonna have to be good for a whole year. But I think it's worth it. Getting a Harvest Right freeze dryer. Maybe like the medium, because that would serve our purposes for our garden produce. It acts like a dehydrator without drying them out. It freeze dries in their fresh form, if that makes any sense. And when you harvest that, when you get them out of the freeze dryer, you pack them in jars or mylar bags with the little oxygen absorbers. Y'all, did you know that things that are freeze-dried and put in the mylar bags lasts for up to 20 years? Do you know how much you could stock your pantry up for 20 years? I'm going to check into one of those, y'all. Let's see, what is another drying option? I think I pretty much covered them. Oh, your oven. Okay, if you don't have a dehydrator, put them on cookie sheets, put them in the oven at your lowest setting. Like 170, I think, is low as some of them will go. I wouldn't go any higher than that if you're just going to dry something. You don't want to cook them, okay? Let me get me another little bundle here. Let's see. Oh, that's a good bundle because that was a whole plant. Let me cut some more string. Okay, so drying. This is the first process I'm going to be doing right now, is drying mine. Because first, what I'm going to be doing with these is I am going to be making a tea, okay? And I have like a little metal little strainer that looks like a little disco ball, and it has a string. And you put your dried, y'all, when we get to harvesting these dried, you'll see all the parts of this flower I'm going to save to pack into a jar to use for the tea. We're going to use the leaves. We're going to strip everything off the stems. That's it. We're going to strip everything off the stems, leaves and all. The leaves have medicinal purposes. And that little ball, where was I? That little squirrel, that little ball. Hi, squirrel. Oh, I wasn't talking to you. He's like, what are you talking about me for? I wasn't talking about you. I'm so sorry. Okay, anyway, before I offend the squirrels out here, it's a little tea strainer, and you put your dried herbs inside that little strainer, and it locks, and then you steep it in some boiling water in a cup and let it steep for like, you can go up to 15 minutes, y'all. You might have to heat your tea back up again though, but you let it steep. Or you can put it like in a little saucepan, a little small saucepan, and hook that little strainer onto the side, because my little strainer, it's in there somewhere in the kitchen. My little strainer has like a little hook at the end of it where you can clamp it over and hang it like on the lip or something of a sauce pot, and steep it that way, and then pour the tea right over into your cup. So right now I'm just going to be drying, and we're going to use this first batch for medicinal purposes. If I get my hands on some more, we're going to walk around the property a little bit, maybe drive around on the Ranger, get permission from some neighbors to see if we can gather some more, and I might do some fresh, or I might dry the next batch. And then the next batch, if I get all of my, there's the next bundle. If I get all of the things that I need, like the little amber bottles with the little droppers, we might make some tinctures, okay? So let's see. If you use them fresh, you know that you can't drink all this tea, all these fresh flowers for tea just like this, okay? Fresh. They're going to start drying on you anyway. But if you can't process them all fresh, buy the tea or something like that and drink all of it at one time, y'all, if you wanted to, you could make a big old batch of tea, okay? Like a big old stock pot, and then just boil these down. That's an idea, y'all. Making a big old batch. Oh, I'm pretty sure we'll figure this out together. I just had that thought. If you want to use the fresh flowers. Now, if you want to use the fresh flowers and you want to make your tinctures, you will you'll still need to strip the leaves off if you're doing these fresh. Cut your flowers off. Leave the stems out, and then poke them down in a quart jar, a pint jar, and then fill that jar up with one of your 4 choices of liquid, okay? And then let it steep with the fresh flowers. But I'm going to use the dry ones, y'all. I haven't I don't have all the things I need right now if I'm going to use them fresh. And they're already starting to dry on me just a teeny tiny bit. It's the next day. And I'm like, no, they're already starting to dry. I'm going to have to do this process. So maybe the next batch I might use fresh. Okay. But we're going to give these time to dry. Let's see. What is another way? People are using these fresh or dried and making salves, ointments, because I'm going to tell y'all in a little bit what all this goldenrod is good for. It may not be right now after I get done with this. It may be another day. We'll talk about the elements that goldenrod is good for. And yes, y'all will not believe everything it's good for. The sun is right there in my eyes. Y'all would not believe everything goldenrod is good for. A spider, you stay on your side of the porch, I'll stay on my side, and we'll be just fine. I saw a spider. Right over there. You stay over there. Okay, let's see. What is another? Oh, I'm sorry, y'all. That spider got me all nervous. Yeah, he's gone, but I don't know where he went. I don't see him. You're gonna know in a minute if he comes over my way. Okay. People are using these to make salves. I'm not gonna get it too thick because I want them inner leaves to dry. So let's tie another little bundle while we chit chat. Ointments, salves, chapsticks, lotions, soap bars. There he is again. Soap bars. What else? I've seen some people do with herbs and plants. Okay, so that's another way that you can use these for medicinal properties. Is by processing them to use in those things. And that might be what people are doing the oils for, is for, because I don't really know if you want to digest or ingest olive oil with some flowers in it. You can if you want to, but I mean that's strictly up to you. You can if you want to. And then straining them out and then turning around and using them in salves and lotion, soap bars, lotions, things like that. That may be the next thing I learn how to do. This is a learning process for me, y'all. I already know how to use fresh herbs, culinary herbs like rosemary, thyme, basil, sage, oregano. I already grow my own herbs in our arrow garden. It's a hydroponics system, y'all. If you ever hear me talk about my arrow garden and you're like, what arrow? I did have somebody ask me one time, what is an arrow garden? And they spelled it ARROW. And I'm like, I have failed to educate people. I'm like, okay, I need to be explaining what that is, okay? So I explained to them what it was, and I referred them to those videos, and they're like, okay, it's an arrow garden. It's a hydroponics system where you grow seeds in these little pods in a little hydroponics tabletop system. And y'all, if I'm too busy during the summer and I just can't get to my herbs and things on the inside, I'm like, you know what? I got all winter long, or I'm just sitting there twiddling my thumbs and wishing I could grow something. I will use my arrow gardens in the winter time. Still get to get my hands in a little bit of dirt and grow something, okay? I get bored in the winter. It's that seasonal boredom, and depression can set in, if you don't have something to do during the winter. So let's talk and work. And I use my arrow gardens during the winter time. It gives me some greenery and satisfaction during the winter time to grow something. And I'm growing a culinary herb. But y'all, since I'm on this journey to stock an apothecary, I have been learning about the same medicinal benefits, not just eating and culinary benefits, of rosemary oil, thyme, basil, and oregano. y'all, I didn't know that they were also not just culinary herbs, but medicinal. And I'm like, wait, what? I've been growing herbs all this time just for eating, and I didn't know that I could be going ahead. I could have already been stocking my apothecary, my medicine cabinet. And I'm like, I'm missing out. So guess what? I can be doing the same thing with my culinary herbs and growing a bunch and start using them for medicinal purposes too. But one way that I do preserve my oils, my herbs, and I show y'all in a video how I preserve my herbs different ways. One way is just taking the fresh herb and drying them. And then I grind them up in my little grinder, or y'all, I can just crumble them in my hand and fill back up our little jars of Italian seasoning that we use so much in my pantry. Because then we turn around and use those seasonings to flavor our pasta sauce with, okay? Cooking, okay? So I do dry a lot of our herbs. But I'm like, there's more ways to preserve herbs. So let's see, what else did I make in that video? I made a herb infused oil for cooking, okay, to give it a little extra flavor. I took some jars, I poked some rosemary and thyme stems and leaves down inside those bottles, filled it up with olive oil, because that's the go-to oil of our choice. Talking work. That's the go-to oil of our choice. And y'all, when I opened this jar up one time, I did let it sit in the back of the cabinet for at least 14 days because I wanted it to infuse really long to pull out that flavor inside the oil. When I opened up that jar that first time to cook with that oil, I was sauteing some vegetables to go with supper one night, and I opened up that jar. Y'all, I got that whoosh. You know, like you open up a can of soda or something. I got that aroma that just hit me right in the face, and I'm like, this is gonna be some good vegetables. And it was steeped in that oil, and I use it for cooking. Then I made a talking work. Come on. Then I made a butter. I made a butter. I just took some room temperature butter, took some basil leaves. I think it was basil. It may have been rosemary and thyme. And I had these little half jelly jars. You know, you got your jelly jars, and then you got that next little bitty size. Y'all, you can use baby food jars. Reuse baby food jars. You know, somebody's got these babies they're feeding, y'all. Grab those jelly. There went my cup. I'm glad I was done with my coffee. Grab those little baby jars, y'all. They're perfect for like in doing some herbal butters. I took some rosemary and thyme, stripped the leaves and stuff off, and mixed it in with that room temperature butter, and then put the lid on that baby, turn around, put it in the refrigerator. I had an herbed butter on hand. Then I took some mint, I believe, and I put in, and basil too. You can freeze some. Yes, you can. I took some leaves. I do not remember which herb it was, but I know I do mint leaves this way. Not that, okay, let me back up. I take mint leaves and I will freeze them in ice cube trays with either, I did some in some orange juice one time. I had like some orange juice in the refrigerator that was the granddaughter's, and it was going to be like a week before they were coming back, and I'm like, I'm not going to be drinking this. I don't want it to ruin. I'll get them some more fresh. What can I do with this orange juice? Aha! I had mint going in the arrow garden. I stripped leaves, put them in ice cube trays, and then poured that orange juice in that ice cube trays and froze them. We used those in smoothies and in some refreshing shaved ice drinks in the summertime. I would use those cubes and do like a detox drink with water, lemon juice, those ice cubes with the mint in it. I had a good detox drink. Flushes out your kidneys and your intestines. Lemon juice does that, y'all. It flushes out your kidneys and detoxifies your blood, okay? There's just something you may not have known. Every once in a while, I will drink a couple of glasses of lemon juice and some water and just do like a cleanse, a kidney cleanse, okay? And a blood purifier, cleansing for the blood, okay? There's you another thing you need to know. Let's see, what else did I do? That was the mint. Sometimes I'll just do it in water, okay? And then just use those in a drink and with my lemon water. And I got those little fresh sprigs of mint in there. Mint, whether you grow just mint or spearmint or peppermint, in the mint family, those are good for energizing, but they're also like good for digestion. You got a tummy ache, you've got indigestion, acid reflux, you just ate too much, okay? Digestion, y'all, the mint family is awesome for that, okay? Let's see, I try to grow dill. Let me tell y'all what happens with my dill. Just about the time I'm getting ready to harvest it, I'm like, okay, I need to get my dill. I need to harvest it tomorrow. I'll have some dill on hand. I can use it and put a few sprigs in some refrigerator pickles or something. Oh no, let me tell y'all what happens. When I'm getting ready to harvest it, where's my dill? And then I've got granddaughters. That's where my dill goes to. I can't hardly ever catch my dill to harvest it because the granddaughters go over there and they just cut off sprigs whenever they want to and just crunch on it. I'm like, can I have some dill, please? No. Okay. So I can't keep dill on hand. It's all right. As long as they're liking it and they're having fun, they help me set up my arrow gardens when it's time to grow something anyway. I'll let them pick out something that they want to grow. 9 times out of 10, it's dill. So that's their herb of choice. So I'm like, all right, y'all grow the dill and then we'll grow some other things. Y'all catch out those 2 videos. I may have 3. I have 2 videos on my arrow garden. Y'all, putting this arrow garden together is so simple. My granddaughters did one all by themselves. They picked out the herbs they wanted to grow for that winter or that summer. I might have done it that summer. And they put the seeds in the pods. We set it all up, got it to going. I did the second one. I tell you what a hydroponics system is, how it works, how it functions, same thing, how to set mine up, how to program it, plant your stuff, and then wait on the herbs to start growing. And then I waited a span, and it was a running video, and then I caught times in it where I showed you, look at the herbs growing, okay? It has a grow light, an adjustable grow light that goes up and down as your herbs grow, okay? Then in the next one, I show you how to take your pods out and transplant them to pots, self-watering pots. And then you can just pick and grow, come and go is what it's called. And then that way, while these are finishing growing in the pot, and I'm coming and going from them, coming and cutting, that's what it is. I was able to start another batch of herbs right behind that in the arrow gardens. Okay, and then I show you how to care and maintain and clean your arrow garden and start replanting. Y'all check out those 2 videos, hydroponics, arrow garden. Let's see. So I did the cubes, I did the drying, I did the butter, I did the oil. Yeah, so I already know those work for me because I've already done them. But for this purpose, goldenrod, I don't know a cooking purpose for it. My main purpose for the goldenrod is for the tea to drink, okay? So I think I have filled y'all in on a bunch. I'm not going to tell you. I'm going to wait till the next clip. I'm going to make you wait till the next clip to tell y'all the medicinal purposes, okay? All the medicinal, no, all the ailments. Yes, that the medicinal properties of this wonderful flower and plant will do for your body, okay? So I'm going to finish my wrapping here. I've chit-chatted, got you ready for the next part of the video. While these are drying, I'll do that part of the video and cut down on some time. And then when it's time to process these and harvest these and get them stripped and ready to put in a jar to just dip out of and make my tea and drink it fresh. And if I have enough, y'all, I might save some dried for the tea purposes. Just depends on how much I get. And then I might use some if I can get my other ingredients, like my little amber bottles. We might go ahead and do a tincture, okay? We covered tea, tincture, lotions, bars, salves. Yeah. Okay, if I learn any more things that you can, how you can preserve these, I will throw it in this video, but this is going to be a running video because we got to give these time to dry, okay? So, enough chit chat. I'm going to finish my little bundles here, and the next clip, y'all stay tuned because we're going to learn all the ailments that this wonderful, beautiful plant helps with. I promise you will be surprised, okay? So, keep hanging in there with me. Go get you a little snacky or a cup of coffee, a cup of tea or something, or some ice cold tea, and join me in just a minute and we'll get to the other part of this video. This is my little tea strainer. I got all them done. Y'all, did you know that a curtain rod and some shower hooks works perfectly to dry herbs on? I've got them hanging up in one of the showers on the hooks, and they're just so pretty. But provided, you know, nobody's going to be using that bathroom or anything. So right now, nobody's going to be hardly using that shower. So I'm using those to dry my herbs on, okay? I found my little tea infuser. See the little hook on the end? Can you see that? Hooks on the little sauce pot or your cup. It has the little lock-in lever right here. I'm fixing to teach my granddaughters how to use these for some echinacea tea. Echinacea is another powerhouse that I will be growing, okay, for the cold and flu season. Look at that. Comes open. Put your dried tea in here. Close it. Make sure it's on that little thing right there. See how? That little hole. Snap them together, okay? Then you lock it. And then put this either in your cup or on your little sauce pot. Steep and boil your tea. Y'all, there's other things. This is in our Amazon store because that's what I have right now. But I'm checking into some cups that has the tea infuser that sets down inside of it, where you pour your boiling water in there and then put the lid on it, and then it infuses it. And then after it's done infusing, you reach in, you grab the filter, shake it out just a little bit, lay it over to the side, then put your honey or your sweetener in your tea and sit there and drink it. The glass little infusing teapots is so pretty. I may have some options there, but I know these are in our Amazon store. So that might be an option or something for later. I just wanted to show y'all that because I went and dug it out and I'm like, I know it's in here somewhere. I need to show them what it looks like. It's just a little mesh strainer. And these came in like a set of 3, I think. So perfect. One for me and one for my 2 granddaughters, okay? Because we love to have tea parties. Yeah. During the cold and flu season, or if one of my granddaughters, even just the springtime, when the pollen is out and about, and they come in here with them little scratchy throats and stuff, and you wake up with a sore throat and you're wondering what just happened, okay? I love to buy the echinacea tea, and I will steep some, and we'll have like little tea parties, help kind of, you know, spruce them up a little bit and, you know, make them feel a little better. And I will use that echinacea tea and we will use some honey and put in it to sweeten it, and honey helps soothe the throat too. So we will use an echinacea tea during that time when they get little sore throats and coughs and stuff. And then now they've got to where like, I need something for my throat, G-Mall. Can we have a tea party, or can I have a cup of tea? If we don't have time at that moment to have a cup of tea, to have a tea party, I'll have some little cups for them, and I'll go and I'll make some echinacea tea and put some honey in it for them, and it soothes the throat, and then it's so warming. They just love it. I guess I'm spoiling my little princesses. That's just what G-Malls do, right? Okay, there's the little strainer, okay? Okay, it has been 2 weeks since I tied all these bundles of goldenrod up and hung them up to dry. So today we're going to get to breaking these down and showing you how I'm going to prepare these for tea. So let me get y'all set up, get my workspace going here, and I will show y'all how I'm going to break these down, okay? Okay, you see all this goldenrod? I took it down. You'll tell it's dry in a minute by the way it's crumbling and crackling. You do want to check your goldenrod to make sure that it is all dry, because you don't want to put any that is still not dry into a container or a Ziploc bag or a vessel and it get warm somewhere, and that heat mixed with the moisture is going to cause mold. So you do want to make sure all of this is dry before you start this process. So you'll hear it in just a minute how dry it is. I'm going to start with one bundle at a time, and I'm going to cut the tie. You hear it crumbling? Get you a work surface going. I tied it in a bow, but I tied it so tight I can't get it with my hand. So I'm just going to just throw the thing away. You are going to take your strands literally apart. Y'all hear it crackling and just going, okay? Y'all get you a work surface that is easy to, like, when you're done, scoop up all this extra and put it on your pan. Or you can do this on newspaper or crafting paper, something like that, to where, don't do this on carpet, okay? Because it's probably going to go everywhere. Get you a surface where if it flies off of your pan or your surface, it's easy to scoop up and put it back in your pan. You do not want to waste all this, okay? So what I'm going to be doing, this is so dry, you're going to take your stems and you're just going to strip them. Just like that. He ain't got no clothes, okay? And just strip them. That's it. Now, it's going to take me a while to do this, and some is going to get everywhere, but this is all you're going to do. And it's going to, like I said, it's going to take me a while to do this, so I'm probably going to find me a little comfy table and a chair here in just a minute and sit down and strip all this. Oh, y'all, that smells so good. You want to get flowers and all. Try not to get stems in there if you can, because, nobody wants to swallow a stem or whatever, okay? But this is all you're going to do. Oh, y'all, this smells so good. Now, mine, like I said, I am drying for tea purposes. Here, when I get done with these, or maybe tomorrow, I'm going to go foraging for fresh goldenrod that's not going to get dried. I'm going to have to preserve it as soon as it's picked, because I'm going to be doing something different with fresh, okay? So you just see it's all flying everywhere. Don't do this in the wind or you'll lose everything. So you're just going to make it naked, okay? You're going to strip everything down, and you're going to have all this goodness like this, okay? So I've got to try to get this off of me. I've got a ways to go. I got to go through this whole pan right here. And then when I'm done, I will let you see. And what we're going to do, either grab you a Ziploc bag, some kind of airtight container, a vessel, like a jar or something that you want to put this in, dry, where you can store it in your pantry. Okay, this is not going to go in the refrigerator. This is going to go in a pantry because it's dry. It's not going to hurt it. Okay, so I got a ways to go, and I'll let you see the next step when I get to it. Okay, I got to show y'all this. After about 3 or 4 of these, I learned a little quicker way. You're still going to strip the limbs, but don't tear them apart all at one time. And this is going so much quicker. If your hands can handle it, because y'all, these are going to be dried leaves, and it is going to feel a little rough on your hands. If you need to put on like a little thinnish pair of gloves, that's fine, but just remember it's going to stick to your gloves. But just strip the leaves down. They all come off really good. See, I did about 4 strands there. But the flowers is the most tedious part, but watch this. I just took it. I'm not breaking them. I'm just going to do this right here. It also keeps it from scattering so far. I mean, it wasn't like shooting across the floor into the carpet. Like this. And strip them down that way. Rub it between your fingers just like that. Just like crumble it. Just like, and look at that. 4 strands right there I just did. Just by crumbling it between my fingers. I just wanted to share that with y'all because I didn't want y'all to be sitting here for 2 hours getting all this stuff off. So this process is going to go a little quicker. And look at all this, y'all. And if you see that you accidentally get a stem in there, just pick it out. And we'll sift this here in just a minute. Look at all that goodness, y'all. Look at all that. Look at all of nature's pharmacy. I do see some that I've missed, and that's okay. I'll be sifting through this here in just a little bit. But that was just a quicker method. I just wanted to pop in here and show y'all, okay? Let me get the rest of this done. Okay, y'all. Here we go. I've got all of it taken off the stems. Y'all, I did 8 bundles, and that only took me like 20 to 30 minutes. So, this is what it looks like. Nature's Pharmacy in a pan. Now, what I'm going to do is, there's a little bitty stem right there, and I've already cleaned up my mess. Look at this. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just go through here and sift and crunch. Sift and crunch. Because the leaves are kind of big, but you can crumble them down and mix them in with the flowers. So that way you're not getting just like 1 tea bag of nothing but flowers, 1 tea bag of nothing but leaves. It's going to be all mixed in. So it will be evenly incorporated. So I'm just going to sift and crunch and just kind of like make it even. And then I'll be able to feel the stems as I go. You hear that crunch? You hear that? That lets me know it's good and dry. So I'm just going to do this right here. Now, a lot of people, this whole thing is edible, except the stems, okay? Don't be going out here crunching on the stems. The leaves, the flowers, and even the root of goldenrod flowers are edible. Now, I don't know about the root yet. I don't know how people are using the root. I haven't got that far into my research yet, but I do know the flowers and the leaves, and that's why you strip them off the stems and just throw the stems away. So I'm going to just keep crunching and sifting and make these. I might save some. Oh, there's a piece of string right there. I might save some to use as seed, or purposely go get me some more, just a couple of little bunches to save as seed, to designate me a spot to grow some just specifically in that one spot and say, Mom's medicine garden, do not touch, do not bush hog down, do not mow down, do not weed eat down. Because every year I miss goldenrod season because these guys will start bush hogging when it's just at its peak. And I'm like, no, 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 no. And they get it every time. So I miss it. And then a lot of times when we go on work trips, it's blooming and in its peak when we're not there. And I'm like, okay, I've got to find a source of goldenrod. So that's what I did this time right here with this goldenrod. We're not at home at the moment, and I found a source just right down the road that I can go and cut off of the road. And I can go and cut some and still harvest this while we're on a work trip, because it's right in the peak season of goldenrod season. And I'm like, all right, we got to do this. I got to find some, because before we left home, they already bush hogged all of mine that was just beginning to grow and baby bud, you know, and get up here, and they just cut it all down. So I was able to do this away from home and still have some. So I may go back and get some more when I gather fresh this afternoon or tomorrow, just depending. And grab a little extra for saving as seed. If I don't get to do that, then I'll just order some seeds and designate me a spot or a container and say, do not touch. I will hurt you. Okay? I'm just kidding, y'all. I don't want to be banned from YouTube for saying that, so I'm just kidding. Okay, now I'm just going to keep crunching and sifting. Now, when I get done with this, we'll talk about how to make this into a tea, because for right now, while we are traveling, I don't want to have a bunch of glass containers in my suitcases or have to lug from place to place. This is going in a Ziploc bag, airtight, dark cabinet every time we get somewhere, because I travel with some of my teas and stuff and with our coffees, and this is going to go right alongside it. So let me finish this, and then sifting, getting out just itty bitty stems, and I'm going to get this in a Ziploc bag, and then we'll sit and chit chat about how to turn around and turn this into a tea and infuse this into a tea. Okay? Okay, I got it all bagged up. This is my goldenrod. Y'all, I am going to have to make sure I label this, because y'all look at this. Just get a gander at it, just a quick glance. I need to make sure I label this goldenrod just in case I get stopped by the cops, so I can explain this. Because y'all, goldenrod, Mr. Officer. Okay, smell it. Okay, this is my goldenrod, okay? And I'm probably going to share some of this with my mama, because every year their ages, they get upper respiratory, and every year my mother gets bronchitis, very bad, upper respiratory illness. I mean, just awful. And the older ones are more prone now to getting COVID, whooping cough, pneumonia, upper respiratory, RSV in children. I've got a granddaughter that every year, one year she got RSV so bad she wound up in the emergency room. Had I known about this ahead of time or beforehand, maybe she wouldn't have. Because y'all, my granddaughters love to drink tea, because we have princess tea parties all the time with real china. Yes, we have tea parties. So getting them to drink some warm tea is nothing. And just RSV in children, y'all, if I would have known about this stuff ahead of time and already been prepared for that, maybe she wouldn't have got it. But I'm going to share some of this with my mama. I'm probably going to keep collecting some more as long as I'm here and keep doing this. If I run out, I'll just get some until buy some until the next season from a Whole Foods store. Until the next season. Oh, you can tell that ain't, you know what? Because there's yellow flowers in it. Okay, so I'm safe, okay? Mr. Officer, there's yellow flowers in here. Okay, anyway, let's sit down and chit-chat about how to make a tea. Oh, I want to come outside and get some fresh air while it's not so hot. Okay, now let's talk about how to make a tea. I sat right here and I showed y'all the other day a little contraption that I have to put in my teacup. You don't have, oh y'all, my hands still smell like goldenrod. That smells delicious. That's gonna make a good tea with a drizzle of honey in it. Okay, you don't have to have fancy equipment to make a tea. You just need a cup and some hot water. Okay, now, as far as you're like, well, you don't just pour that hot water on top of all those flowers and drink it, or you're going to get all that in your mouth. Yes, you are. Okay, now, you can use a little, boil you some water, okay? Put it in a cup, all right? You can take a cheesecloth and cut it into little squares, okay? And put like a teaspoon to a cup, I believe it is. If you want to go more and go all gung-ho, do a tablespoon, okay? And put it in the middle of that cheesecloth. Draw it up into a ball, and you know, the top, and then tie it. You've got an automatic little tea bag right there. When you get done using it, you can wash those things separately from your clothes. You can hand wash it and then just let it dry somewhere and reuse it. You can go the extra mile and buy the tea bags that has the little drawstrings. Those are reusable. Purchase it one time, reuse it over and over and over and over. Cheesecloth is pretty cheap, y'all, and you can get it at Walmart. What else could you use? You can get the tea bags that are disposable. They're the little tea bags that fold over like the little flap and seals it shut, but you have to throw those away. So if you want to get those, fine. But if you want something that you can just keep reusing over and over, you can get the little metal little ball like I've got with the little chain. What else? Oh, they've got the cups now that's got like the little cone filter in it where you pour your hot water in there. Then you just, it's like a little stainless steel little filter that is like a cone. It sits down inside the cup. And then you pour your hot water over it, or you can already have your hot water in it. Like you can do it in that, you can heat it up in the microwave, and then put that little, put the filter down inside the cup, and then put your flowers and leaves and stuff in there, your dried herbs and stuff inside the filter. Put the lid on and let it steep. You know what? Some of you old timers, I'd love to have another one. Y'all remember those old percolators that we grew up watching our great-grandparents and our grandparents put that coffee in there and put that little stand and put that coffee filter on top, put that lid on top, turn the burner on the stove, let it be boiling, and you'd see that coffee percolating up through that little clear knob on the top. Y'all, I miss those. Some of you old timers, you can brew you some tea that way. You're already brewing your coffee. Just switch it to tea. Now, how you brew your tea is, now you've got, a contraption or something to put your tea leaves and flowers in. What you do is, after you get it tied up or whatever you're going to be using, you're just going to boil you some water, extremely hot, because you're going to want this hot enough to draw out all the medicinal properties out of your leaves and flowers and herbs, whatever you're using. I don't care what kind of tea you're using. And you're going to want it hot enough. And it's going to need to at least steep for about, the longer you let it steep, the more properties you pull out. 15 minutes at the most, okay? Now, if you want to do, and then when you get done, take your, whatever you've put your flowers and leaves in, take it out, squeeze that little bag out, get the rest of it out when you squeeze it, and then set it to the side till you get ready to clean your cheesecloth or whatever. Set your filter to the side, okay? Then you can throw the waste onto a compost pile. You can throw it into like a plant or something for some extra fertilizer, okay? It might sprout you some seeds later on, but hey, you'll have some goldenrod. Let's see, what else? The longer you let it steep, the better off it is. Now, let's say like you've let it steep for like 15 minutes and your tea's already done got a little coolish and you like it hot, just heat it back up. Nuke it in the microwave for about 10 seconds, 15 seconds. Now, if you want to make a batch at one time, but get you a little saucepan on the stove, make a cheesecloth a little bigger, coffee filters. Yes, y'all. 500 coffee filters only cost like maybe $1, $1.50, $2. 100 coffee filters. You can take a coffee filter, tie it up with a rubber band. Yes, I'm glad I just thought about that. I was trying to think of something else you could use that's just really cheap, y'all. And those are throwaway. $1 for 100 to 150 pack. Okay, let's see. If you want to make a whole batch, make sure you've got something big enough, okay, that you can put maybe like, if you want to make a quart, I would say 4 tablespoons, okay, and then get you a sauce pot of water, boil the tea bag inside the sauce pot with the water, let it sit for a little bit, let it cool off a little bit, pour it into that mason jar. Make a bigger batch. You can make a gallon of this stuff if you want to, and put it in a gallon tea jug. I don't care. Now, if you need to make like a smaller batch and mix it in with something, because somebody may not like to drink warm tea, they may not like the taste of it, okay? Just take a little bitty tea bag, boil it in with your regular tea bags. If you drink iced tea, I'm from the South. We're all about that sweet tea, okay? So just put it in with your regular tea bags. Have a little bit of extra, and nobody will ever know the difference. Shh, I won't tell them if you won't. Let's see. You can make a cup. You can make a jar. You can make a gallon if you want to, okay? And like I said, if they don't want to drink it if they don't like the taste or something, mix it in with something else. You can make a batch up and take a dropper and put it in some coffee, put it in your loaded tea, put it in a bottle of water. Y'all, the possibilities are endless. Getting this in somebody without them knowing it if they don't like it. But if you like it, y'all, steep you a cup of tea, sweeten it with a little bit of honey. Y'all, a little bit of sugar helps the medicine go down. I grew up watching Mary Poppins. Just a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down. Now, I can't sing it like she can, but that's okay. Anyway, let's see. What's another way you can take it? If they don't want to drink tea, you can take the dropper and put it on a spoonful of honey and just swallow it, okay? There's all kinds of different ways to get some goldenrod in you. I just thought of another one. There are some people that will grind that up in a little mill or a coffee grinder and make neighbors over there. They're walking their dogs or letting their dogs out to do their business. What was I saying? I got distracted. Squirrel. Oh, they put it in a mill and grind it up into a powder, and you can buy those veggie capsules, and the little capsule maker, it's a puncher. I may invest in one of those, y'all, and grow my own turmeric and dry it. We have a dehydrator. Y'all like that? Dehydrator, grow my own turmeric, dry it, grind it up into a powder, make my own capsules, and make my own turmeric supplements. There you go. Buy one thing one time, use it over and over. You're going to get your money back for what you pay for a 30-day supply of supplements from a pharmaceutical company, okay? That's just a little extra. That didn't cost you nothing. Let's see. You can get the little capsules, veggie capsules. Fill them And then, because they have the itty bitty spoon, yeah. Or there's a way that you load up the hopper, the capsule hopper, with the bottoms, and you put your powder on there. You level it out. Oh, y'all, you'll just have to look it up. I may get into that. You level your powder, get it all down into the capsules. Then in the top. In the top of the capsules, they're empty, but you put the top of the capsule on the other piece of the contraption. You put it on top, then you mash this little lever and it crunches them shut. You've got your own supplement capsules. There you go. I may check into that, y'all, to do my own turmeric. The next thing I want to learn how to grow for medicinal properties is echinacea. Y'all, echinacea is another powerhouse. It's an antiviral. And it's all the anti stuff again, okay? And it's good also to boost the immune system. All this upper respiratory issues. Did I say immune booster? I think I did. Upper respiratory issues, cold and flu season. Y'all, they actually mix golden seal and echinacea together like they get married. And they turn it into a capsule and it's golden seal. If you see that in a supplement store or over in the vitamin and mineral section with the herbs and stuff at Walmart, CVS, Walgreens, Rite Aid, wherever you get your pharmacy stuff, and you see a bottle that says golden seal, that's goldenrod and echinacea. They get married, okay, in a capsule, okay? And it's called, they name the baby golden seal, okay? Same thing. It's just a double whammy. You're getting a powerhouse together. So that's the next thing I want to learn how to grow. So I'm starting out just trying to learn a few things to get me started. And my powerhouse right now is going, hello puppy. My powerhouse right now is going to be mullein, goldenrod. You want to talk? You want to talk? Huh? Where was I at? Squirrel. Mullein, goldenrod, echinacea. There's another one, y'all. Elderberry. That is my 4 things right now that I want to start learning, researching more about. Powerhouse, putting them in my apothecary, putting them in my medicine cabinet, okay? Along with my herbal remedy, the cold and cough remedy, you know, with the ginger, the lemons, the honey, the garlic. There you go. The turmeric, if you want to add that in there, ginger, okay, along with that. That's going to be staples in my medicine cabinet, in my apothecary. Okay, now, I'm either going, it may be a little late right now. I might have some time to go squeeze in and go harvesting right over here for some more goldenrod. Bring it in. If I don't get to do it right now, I may do it this afternoon or I may do it tomorrow. But I'm going to gather fresh and show you what to do with it next. Now, let me say this. What I'm fixing to do next is you can use fresh or you can use dried. But the preservation method that I'm going to do next mostly uses fresh, okay? But you can use fried if you fry. Don't go fry this, y'all. Dried, okay? You can still use the dried if you want to, but fresh in this next procedure is better because it's going to be steeping for about 6 weeks. So you're going to need that fresh so it can pull all that out. And I will show you what that's going to be next, okay? Okay, y'all. I just went and foraged me a whole bunch more. Y'all, I'm probably going to have like a year's worth here by the time I get doing with this what I want to do. So after you get done harvesting your goldenrod, you just want to get it fresh, y'all. You just want to go through here, shake. You're not going to knock these flowers off, trust me. You want to shake and you want to make sure there's no bees, spiders, anything else that's on your flowers. I did have to battle one little bee, but he was happy because I kind of like crossed him over to another plant, so he was happy. So I'm like, can I have this one and you take that one? And he said, sure. So he let me have this. So I'm going to go through my bounty here, and I'm just going to like make sure there's no bees, there's no spiders, things like that. Any other kind of bugs that might be on them, and just make sure they're all off. So I'm going to go through this whole thing, and then I might let them hang outside here for just a little bit, to where they might, if any does come out, they might, you know, go away. So I'm just going to go through my bounty and just shake all these off and just make sure there's nothing on them, and then let them hang out here for just a little bit. And then we will get to processing these, because we're going to do these immediately before they start drying and wilting. So I'm just going to go through here, shake all these out, and then we'll take these inside, and I'll show you what we're going to do with these glorious things next. Nature's Pharmacy. I want to give y'all a perfect example of why you shake this stuff out and make sure there's no bugs in it. Look right there. 1, 2. Where'd it go? Hold on. I saw like a grasshopper or something in here. A wasp came out of here a while ago. So this is the reason why you shake it really good after you get done picking it fresh, and before you start doing the next step. You don't want any of this in your jars. Where'd it go? Well, I'll find it in a minute. It was like a little bitty kind of like grasshopper. So I'm still going to go through this. I came across that, and I just wanted to show y'all. That's the reason why you want to shake these out really good and make sure there's nothing in there. Okay, I've got most of those shook out. I'm just going to do a tray at a time, because I've only got like 2 trays that I can work with. One I want to set my jar on, and the other one is holding the goldenrod. So, and I've only got two trays to work with. But this is the part where I'm going to choose to preserve these another way by making a tincture. A tincture is something that you take. You can either do the dried, or you can do fresh herbs and flowers, whatever. And it's kind of like oil pulling, but you can use different methods to pull out the nutrients in a liquid, which it steeps or sits for like 6 to 8 weeks. You can wait till like up to 8 weeks to do this. And then after that 6 to 8 weeks, then you drain off the liquid and separate the floral part of the herb or the flower that you're using, and you take the liquid, and that's what you use for the medicinal purposes. Okay, it's like you're diffusing the properties of the plant into a liquid. Now the liquids, there's different ones that you can use. Some people use oil. I would like a avocado, coconut, olive oil, vegetable oil. Some people will use an oil-based tincture, and I don't really know the purpose of the oil, other than the oil might be pulling out the properties to use like in salves, topical treatments, lotions, body butters, soaps, shampoos, for people who have got like really sensitive skin and can't tolerate chemical uses of things on their bodies topically. if you did want to infuse them in oil and you wanted to ingest this, you're going to have to flavor it really good with a lot of sugar to make that medicine go down. And then that might be another reason why some people use coconut or avocado oil, is because it's got a different flavor. I can't see me just taking a spoonful of something that's been infused with vegetable oil and swallowing it, unless you were to take like a dropper full and mix it in with a spoonful of honey. Okay, my point being, you can use an oil base, a liquid fat, avocado, coconut, sunflower. What's the other one? Vegetable oil, olive oil, okay, to infuse and pull out the nutrients of the plant. Another way is vinegar, apple cider vinegar, which is what I'm going to be doing today. I've got 2 wide mouth mason jars. They're not mason, they're Good Harvest from Walmart, just as good. So I can get the flour down in here. And then the next way that a lot of people infuse these and oil pull for medicinal purposes is alcohol, which is like a 80 to 100% like vodka or gin or rum. Like I said, I can't do the alcohol for personal conviction reasons. The Lord would have to really say, it's okay, my child. You can go purchase that just for medicinal purposes. He would have to just really, okay, it's okay. I just can't right now. So I'm going to be pulling mine using apple cider vinegar. There's one more way. That's the 3 that's on the top of my head right now, y'all. So when you harvest your goldenrod fresh, you can get some leaves, the stems, but a lot of people will just get like the top of the plant and have some of the leaves and the flowers, okay? If you get some that's long and you want the leaves, you're going to strip the leaves too. I've got some out there that's long, and then I've got these short ones. So I'm going to show you how we're fixing. This is the simplest step, y'all, to make a tincture, okay? You can do this with any herb, any flower, any plant for the medicinal purposes and for the other purposes of, I know a lady who infuses some of hers in the oil, because she will take that oil, olive oil, and shea butter. Yes, she will mix it with coconut oil and shea butter, and she makes lotions, soaps, salves, for people who have, in her family, who have eczema really bad, psoriasis. Y'all, we're going to get to that part of the video, all of the medicinal purposes, if I haven't done it already. Just depends on how I put these clips together, okay? The medicinal purposes, y'all. All right, so let me get y'all down here, get everything together. Move my peanut butter and jelly out of the way because I had me a sandwich. And then I'll show you how we're just going to stuff this jar, okay? Okay, this is all you're going to do. You do not have to worry about de-stemming all of this, because you're not going to be eating this or whatever. You're just pulling the nutrients out. You're just steeping it for 6 to 8 weeks. So all you can do with your goldenrod on this is just start cutting it down, making smaller pieces. Make sure you have your good pair of pruning shears. You're just starting to release a lot of the oils by doing this. Set that over to the side. I'm going to do one more. See, I just kind of like cut them short. And I got some leaves and a lot of the flower. If you want some longer ones, which I have some outside, that I did get some longer stems, I'm just going to make sure I strip those because there's no flowers at the end, and you just strip off the leaves. But some of these flowers go all the way to where I harvested them at. So you're just going to do this. You're just going to cut. When you get ready, after 6 to 8 weeks, when you get ready to harvest this, you are just going to strain it over through a cheesecloth or something, a mesh strainer, okay? And separate the pulp, the plant, from the liquid. Then you're going to just bottle it up. But if you're going to bottle this up and store it in order to keep its medicinal purposes, it needs to be like in maybe some of those little, a colored bottle, like the brown amber bottles, or the little beady amber bottles with the droppers, if you want to give these to family members. That will probably be the second half of this video, because, I mean, I'm going to have a long stretch, 6 to 8 weeks between this, to let this actually steep. So that will probably be the other part of this video. We're just going to break that stem on. You want to pack your jars. And just push it down. I've got a little bit more room here. Y'all, I'm going to have more than 2 jars, and I only brought 2 jars. I may have to go get me some more. I can probably find a thrift store somewhere, because there's no sense in me going and buying a whole case of jars just to have to haul them around, so that's okay. Just kind of get them smaller, okay? We're going to get this jar full. Yeah, I'll have to probably go get me some more jars. Or I can just go to a thrift store and maybe find a larger container. And I'll probably need to just go ahead and get me a jug of apple cider vinegar. Now, you don't want to pack the flowers all the way to the top, the lid. You don't want to pack the flowers all the way. That's a pretty tough stem, so I'm going to get that one out of there. You want to leave a little bit of headspace, because you want this to be able to slosh around a little bit and make sure everything is covered, kind of like you're fermenting something, sauerkraut or something, and you want it below the brine line. So I'm going to say just this last little bit right here is going to be fine. I want it to be able to move around just a little bit. Now you're going to take your apple cider vinegar, or your alcohol, or your oil. Oh gosh, y'all. I hope I can get this open. Whew, y'all, I didn't think that lid was ever going to come off. Apple cider vinegar. Yep, I'm going to have to go get me some more. You probably want this all the way to the top, because, whoo, that's strong. You are going to want everything covered. And I want to try to get the bubbles out. Kind of like you're debubbling. Because you see how some rose to the top? That's cleaning my scissors anyway. That vinegar's cleaning my scissors. Okay. I debubbled. I don't see any bugs floating. No bugs came to the top. So I shook it out pretty good, okay? Now, you can choose to cover this with a cheesecloth or a paper towel. A coffee filter, something like that. But I do want to get rid of the vinegar around the seal of the lid, because I don't want the acid to start eating away at my lid before this gets fully infused. And then you're just going to put your lid on here like this. You need to label on here what it is, and I'll find my Sharpie and mark this goldenrod. And then you need to date it. So that way you'll know 6 weeks from that date, we're going to strain this. Y'all, I have a whole bunch more here to go. And then there is like a half a tub still left out there for me to shake out. So I've still got some more work to do, and I'm probably fixing to just run and get a few more jars or another container or something, and probably get a jug of apple cider vinegar, just a few more, and finish all this up. And yeah, see that? We're gonna be making tinctures, okay? So that when probably the second half of this video will be me straining it, okay? And showing you how to do that, and then telling you how different ways that you can use it. You can once you put it in the little bottles, in the little dropper bottles, you can take this by the dropper full, or you can take this and like leave it in the jar. Just get another fresh jar if you want to store it in a jar, and take it by the tablespoon. You can slip this, if you don't like the taste of the alcohol or vinegar, slip this in some tea, a dropper full or a teaspoonful with the honey. Sweeten it somehow. Put it in your coffee, put it in your tea, put it in, just disguise it, okay? Some people will just sit here and just take it by the dropper full, under the tongue, okay? So, I mean, I have taken a tincture before that way, for upper respiratory, and it was infused in alcohol because someone helped me and reached out to me and sent me a couple of bottles because I got really bad sick last year, I believe, and she was nice enough to make me up some tinctures and send them to me, and they helped a lot. And I just took a I took a dropper full and just put it under my tongue, and I just did that like 3 or 4 times a day. So that wasn't bad by the dropper full. But if you take more than that, you can put it in a tea, like I said, a warm tea, and soothe the throat. You can mix this with a little bit of mullein and just clear all that stuff up. So the second part 2 of this, will be straining it and just showing you how to store it, okay? And different containers and bottles that you can use. But as far as this video, yeah, we will sit down and we will talk about the medicinal purposes, okay? Hey y'all, I'm going to pop back in here right quick because this is going to be the ending of the video. Because y'all, I picked so much goldenrod. I really had to go down the road to go get some more jars and get some more vinegar. And let me tell y'all, it really griped my hiney to go pay for jars. I'm not going to say the store, but it's highway robbery. I'm just going to say that. I have stashes of jars at home. But that sun's like, but I'm loving it, y'all. I'm soaking up the last of the warm weather before cold hits, okay? And where was I, squirrel? Okay, I'm not going to say the name of the store, but it's highway robbery. I've got a storage of jars at home that I can just go to anytime. Lids, bands, whatever. I only brought 2 with me to do this, but I picked so much goldenrod, I had to go get some more. And I had to get 3 more little quarts of, not quarts, but a little more than that of the apple cider vinegar. I bought all they had. Yeah, so I can finish this. I want to do these fresh. I'm going to be sharing with my mama and daddy. Dear hubby has got a cold already. He's hoarse. And I'm like, not today, Satan, not today. And I'm like, I got you. It's a good thing I'm making some goldenrod tea, and the tincture won't be ready for like another 6 weeks, but I'll be covered with tea, so go ahead and kiss me, okay? So, and y'all, I've already made my first cup. And I've already tasted it. I used my little I showed y'all previously in this video. I don't know what you call it, y'all. A little tea bobble. I don't know, y'all, what it's called. It's a little tea filter, metal tea strainer, whatever. Infuser. Tea infuser. That's what it is. Okay. I don't want to insult the people that make it, but tea infuser. And I've sweetened it with a little bit of honey. And y'all, let me tell y'all, it's awesome. It's awesome. So, with me having an autoimmune disease, I catch things really easy. So with him already getting a little cold because the shift, we're in that season where it's like summer or winter, fallish, summer. It's fall, y'all. I don't know when this video is going to come out, but it's fall, but we're still sweating. In the afternoon, we're still sweating. We're peeling off them layers we put on that morning, okay? Chilly. Whew, we're sweating now. It's that time of the day. But, so I don't know when this video is going to go out. But, to get back on track, I have an autoimmune disease, so I can catch things really quick. So I'm warding it off right now. He got the temperature dipped just a little bit. He has to leave for work before the sun even comes up, so it's chilly when he goes out, and then he gets that cool, hot, so it's kind of messed his sinuses and stuff up. He's hoarse, he's like, shh. Just let me sip on my tea. I'm gonna ward this off. Maybe I won't get it, okay? I sweetened it with honey, y'all. It tastes awesome. But I still got the other half of this batch to go. I'm going to do it just like I did that batch. But we're going to chit-chat a minute, y'all. We're going to talk about the benefits now. So I can wrap it. I really don't want this to fall off the railing. Let me take a little sip, y'all. Let me wet my whistle. Oh, that's warm. Oh, that's what. After I steeped it, and then I took the little filter, the little infuser out. I had to heat it back up just a little bit, and then I put some honey in it. It's delicious. Where we are right now, I knew there was another thing I was supposed to share with y'all while we're chit-chat. Cow lick. Get down. Okay, anyway, y'all just ignore the cow lick. I don't know where that came from. Stop. Okay, anyway, where we are, there is a natural food store out here, just like we have back home. Now, they don't have everything we have back home, but that's okay. But I love going to this store every time we come out here. And I want to show y'all some things that I got. That's going to fall off the banister in a minute. I got to show y'all what I got. Now, I told y'all there's some more things that I wanted to. Last time I was in there, they were getting low on their teas. And they said they were getting a truck in, and I'm like, okay, I'll give it another week. It's been a week and I went back. One thing they still didn't have, they didn't get any in, but that's okay. I can just order me some, okay? So, or I can just, when we get back home, I can get some from there. But right now, this will do me to start my apothecary. Let me say this, if you're gonna start this to be ready for the fall season, you better harvest that goldenrod as soon as, or the winter season, harvest that goldenrod as soon as you can before it turns to seed. So that way, if you're going to make a tincture, you've got that 6 to 8 week window there that maybe you won't need it before somebody gets sick. Okay, so you want to do this ahead of time to be prepared. Okay, now, y'all remember me telling y'all that there's woodpecker? Y'all, I'm serious. I get distracted easy. A squirrel. But that wasn't a squirrel. That was a woodpecker. Y'all remember me telling y'all there's so many different ways that you can infuse the teas. You can get the little thing like I've got. You can, I've got me a cup coming that's got the metal or the stainless steel little cone in the middle of it that's a filter to steep. And then I told you about the little drawstring tea bag. Reusable drawstring tea bags. There's 3 in here, y'all. Big size little bags, 3x5s, where I can do a big batch. If I want to do like a gallon, I hope he don't poop on my head. I'll have more than a cow lick. Anyway, these are the perfect size, like for a gallon, okay? And you can do coffee, tea, you can do little herbal baths, poultices, sachets. Y'all, you can make poultices for wound care out of herbs, okay? Crafts and gifts. But I'm going to use this for tea bags, okay? It's got the drawstring tea bag. Just let me open this up. There's 3 in here, and I think I paid $2.99. It's not on the package, but it was on the little basket that they were in. This is a good size bag, y'all, for a gallon. Let me get my fingers in there. Let me get y'all one. Oh, yes. Look at that. And they're reusable, y'all. See? You put your tea in here, and then just do the little drawstring. Boil your tea in with your other tea bags if you need to kind of disguise it. Reuse this, throw it in the washing machine, or just antibacterial soap, whatever. I got 3 of these, y'all. Let me stuff this back down in this little bag. I'm just gonna stuff it for right now. Okay, now I stocked back up on elderberries. I know already by this package of elderberry, they're dried, okay? Y'all saw my video, me making elderberry syrup. I know that this amount right here will make, was it 2 cups in that video? 2 cups, I think, y'all. Y'all, 2 little bags of this. This was like $4.59, and I can make like, this will get us more than through the winter season. I probably won't even have to have this bag this year, but they're dried. They're going to be stored in a cool, dark cabinet. I'll have these for next year if everybody doesn't get sick and we have to go through that other elderberry syrup that I made. I got elderberry syrup. Let me wet my whistle again. Y'all, that's delicious. Okay, so we got the tea bags, elderberries. Let me put them down here. Y'all remember me telling y'all that I was going to start, I wanted to grow some echinacea. I don't have that out here right now. That's like a summertime plant, and I haven't planted any yet. I may try to do some medicinal herbs and flowers in my arrow garden this winter. That's the joy of having arrow gardens, y'all. You can grow in the off season, and still I get to get my hands in a little bit of dirt and some seeds and watch things grow, and it's in my house. I don't have to trudge through the snow. Y'all, arrow garden, hydroponic system. Look for ours in our Amazon store under our Garden Essential playlist, y'all. Garden Essential list in our Amazon store. It's a hydroponic system, y'all. You can grow things inside. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. I like taking one. Now I have 3. Now the other one is a different brand. And y'all, I've looked up and found it at a thrift store. I told her, you put that back for me, I am coming. I am on my way. Well, dear hubby picked it up for me on the way through town. So thank you, dear hubby. I have 3 hydroponic system now. One, I'm going to do like some greens in the winter. And do like a couple of little lettuces where we can just go over there and just, if we want like just one little salad that night, it's, what's it called? Cut and come again, something like that. You cut it, it grows back, you come back and you cut it again, okay? My mama has one. She does lettuces like this all the time. You can do kale. I've not had any luck with spinach yet. I do not know what it is about spinach. Then I use one to grow my herbs for culinary purposes, my cooking, rosemary, thyme, sage, oregano, dill for the granddaughters. I don't get to cook with that because granddaughters just goes over there and plucks it off and just takes off running and laughing. And then I use another one that I'm just going to experiment, y'all, and see with what I can play with during the winter. Y'all go check those out. I have fun during the winter. Okay, so since I can't, I missed the echinacea season, I may try to grow some this winter, y'all. I got some echinacea leaves. okay? So I can mix in some echinacea and goldenrod should somebody get sick. I got 2 bags of this. Now this is the dried, this is not fresh. So I can still make a tincture out of this. I'd rather have the fresh, but right now I'm not gonna be choosy. Beggars can't be choosy. Okay. I might make some as a tincture with the dried, and then I'm going to use some. Let me see what else I got in my little goodie bag here. Okay, I think I got 2 of the same thing that's left. Yes, I got 2 echinaceas. Yes, certified organically grown. Booyah. Okay, I got 2 of them. I may do one for like the tea, for the warm tea, because I've been getting at Walmart, I've been getting the throat coat tea that's at Walmart, and you know it has the echinacea and the lemon, or the echinacea and the honey, one of them, echinacea and lemon, and it helps calm their little throats. They'll be like, my throat is sore. I got just the thing for you, child. Come on, let's go have a tea party. And I make it fun. They're getting a little bit of Nature's Pharmacy at the same time, and their throat feels so much better. If we don't have time to take a tea party and they have a tea party and they don't feel good, and they're like, gee, Mom, my throat hurts. I don't feel good. I'll make them some warm tea, set them on the couch, put a blanket on them, and they just sit there and just sip on that tea. They want to be like their G-Mom. I don't mind. So I've got echinacea for that purpose. Mix it in with a little bit of goldenrod. There you go. I may do a tincture in one, tea for the other. I got 2. And these were only $3.29 a bag, y'all. Organically grown. Now, I got yarrow. I knew I needed some. And I believe, y'all, if I remember correctly, yarrow helps with fevers, to keep you from kind of reaching for the ibuprofen and the Tylenol. I believe it's yarrow. If it's not, and I'm mistaken until after I get on my phone later and research it, because yarrow just rung a bell, and I'm like, fever? Something. I'll look for it. Whatever it's good for, I got 2 bags, and this was only $2.69. Tincture, tea. Okay. Oh man, that's all the goodies I got. They didn't have any mullein. I was trying to find, they didn't get it in. She said that's the only thing we were lacking. So I'm missing the mullein window. I can order some online from an herbal store, y'all. That's no problem. Or when we get home, I can hit it up and go get me some mullein, work on my apothecary when we get back home. Now let's get to these benefits after I wet my whistle. Dear hubby, better not today, Satan. That's good, y'all. Let me bend down here and get my pen and a piece of paper, because excuse me just a minute. If I don't fall out of my chair, I felt the leg come up on the side when I leaned over. Woo, that would have been a doozy. Y'all would have seen my legs just like, whoa. Okay, I got to pick that goldenrod up right there. We're not wasting that precious stuff. Okay, y'all, I watched a lady's video. I will link her video in the description box below the video. If you're on a tablet, an iPad, iPhone, Android, whatever, smartphone, you can't do this from your TV, I don't think. I ain't figured it out yet. But another smart device, and go right below the video and click on the little word more. A drop down box will pop up, and all the information is always in my description boxes below the video. That's what we mean when we say that. I will link her video down in the description box below, okay? To what y'all, if y'all can get more. I just wrote down the necessities, but you can watch the whole video if you want to. She is a certified herbalist. She studied this stuff. She got a degree. She's legit. Okay, so I've already covered some of the basics, but we're going to get more into depth, okay? July through September is the open window for goldenrod, okay? Now, depends on where you live. Like right now, it's in October, and I'm still catching goldenrod. if you've got a long summer season, y'all in the South, we don't start getting cold around here sometimes until like the end of November. We can be trying to turkey hunt or early deer hunt or something, and we're sitting in our blinds sweating everything off. Okay? Let me wet my whistle again. I gotta drink it while it's warm, y'all, or it's gonna get cold. Okay, so depending on your season, like we can get back home and I may still find some goldenrod. Okay, so it just depends on where you are. But if you're in a cooler climate, you got a window July through September. Okay, it starts growing in July, ready to be harvested in September. Save some for the bees, and I'll tell you why, y'all. Because at the end of the season, September or October, wherever you're at, that is the last pollen that butterflies, bees, maybe some hummingbirds are going to be able to get before the frost hits, and they have to go somewhere else for the winter or go night-night for the winter. Okay, save some for the bees. Okay, don't be stingy. Okay, just get a year's supply, dry you some, collect it as seeds, find you a designated spot to grow some next year, save some more for the bees. Y'all, that's bright, but I'm loving it. Ooh, I can see y'all. Okay, I can see my paper though. So just save some for the bees, because that is their last little bit of pollen that they're gonna get to get that energy, okay, before they go elsewhere. Just kind of save some. Let's see. Y'all, there is 130 species of goldenrod. Find out what is native in your area. Your goldenrod may look a little fluffier, puffier, prettier, bigger, shorter, wider than another region. Okay, there's 130 species. Okay, this is what's growing here in this area. A lot of people I explained this in the earlier part of the video. A lot of people blame this season right here, allergies and pollen, on goldenrod. It's not, y'all. Ragweed grows at the same time, but it's more camouflaged. It's not as big and noticeable and beautiful and pretty as the goldenrod. Goldenrod steals the show in the autumn and the fall season. Ragweed just looks like a weed, and it don't get blamed for much. When in silence, it's like, they're blaming you. I'm free. They have no clue. It's me. It's you. It's not you. It's me. No, it's you. It's not me. Okay, see? Y'all, it's not goldenrod. It is ragweed that's causing the problems, okay? Because ragweed it's finer. It gets carried away by the wind quicker. Goldenrod, y'all, is flowers. Their pollen is trapped within those little bitty tubulars. It's harder for the pollen to escape and get airborne. Ragweed, the pollen on ragweed is softer. It's more airborne. That's what's getting in the air. You're welcome. Y'all, I didn't know that. I was blaming poor goldenrod too. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I wasn't educated then. I'm so sorry. Okay? Now, let's see. Y'all, I just jotted things down. It's only in the fall you're going to get this. You're not going to see goldenrod in the spring. God knew what he was doing. Gather from the woods or pastures, not the roadways. If you do it from the pastures, make sure somebody hasn't sprayed their fields, their cotton or their soybeans, their corn and stuff like that with chemicals and stuff, Roundup. I'm not going to go there, y'all. It's your choice. Find you an area where that hasn't been sprayed with chemicals. Don't get it on the roadway, because the problem with the roadway is you've got carbon vehicles coming through, diesels, stuff like that. Those fumes just goes everywhere. Yeah, you don't want that in your tea and stuff like that. Let's see. Y'all, I call this nature's pharmacy. I believe what the Bible says. God put everything here for our purpose. Some things are for human consumption. Some things are for animal consumption. Some things are poisonous to humans that animals can eat. Some things are poisonous to animals that humans can eat. He better not be making me scratchy. Anyway, God knew what he was doing. I believe what the Bible says, where it says he created all this and it is good. I may put that on a t-shirt, y'all. That verse, and God saying it is good. That might be coming on a t-shirt in our merch store. Look for it. It's God created everything for us. I've told y'all in the first part of this video, or it may be the end, however I put these clips together. Look in your Bible. See how many times grains, legumes, herbs, leavened, all this stuff is named in the Bible. Okay, there is specific things in the Bible of olive oil. Okay, oil. They grew olives in the Mesopotamia areas, y'all. Fertile soil, the Fertile Crescent, Mesopotamia area. In that area, y'all, get your Bibles down and read them. That's all I'm going to say. Look up how many times this stuff is in the Bible. God created every bit of it. Adam and Eve had to have something to eat. Okay, y'all. Goldenrod was used during the Boston Tea Party. Let me wet my whistle with my tea. It's starting to get lukewarm, y'all. I don't like lukewarm tea. Now I like my ice cold sweet tea. I can turn this into iced tea if I want to. Make a gallon, put it in, or a half a gallon, put it in with my other half and half, sweeten that stuff up, pour it over some ice, and I got some sweet tea. That's good for me. So see, you can do that. You don't have to drink it warm. You can make iced tea. Okay. During the Boston Tea Party, when they were wanting to tax the tea and they started taxing the tea, then the colonists started throwing it off the boats and into the rivers. Guess what was one of their staples to rely on to start making tea with? Goldenrod. Yes. The Native Americans depended on plants for their resources. Y'all, they didn't have people to educate them. They had to figure things on their own. The Native Americans were either descendants from Ham, Shem, or Japheth. When they spread it out and multiplied, y'all just don't know where we come from. We're all descendants of Adam and Eve, okay? Even after the flood, there was still Noah and his wife and their 3 sons that multiplied and scattered throughout the earth. We're all related, y'all. Think about it. Okay, that was free, by the way. The Native Americans depended on plants, herbs, flowers for medicinal purposes and for sustainability and sustenance to their bodies. And God said, it is good. They knew that. And they weren't as educated. They didn't have people teaching them all this stuff till the pioneers came along. Okay? That's all I'm going to say. Okay. If you put it up dried like we did, it's got a longer shelf life. Okay? Drink it as a tea. You can still use the dried to make tinctures. You can still use the dried to make body products with. Okay? If you infuse it in oil, get one that's tasty, like avocado or coconut or sunflower oil. I just could not put vegetable oil in my mouth. I like to fry and cook with olive oil, but I don't think I could do it unless I just had to soup it up with some honey or something. Maple syrup. Ooh. Okay. If it's infused in oil, a lot of times that's used for the body products. But if you're going to ingest this, get one that has a better taste. Oh, I knew there was another infusion method. Okay, you can infuse this in vinegar, apple cider vinegar. If it's too strong, dilute it with some water. Mix it half and half with another tea of your choice. Down it with some sugar. Okay, alcohol. 80 to 100 proof, vodka, gin, rum, something like that. Y'all, if I'm going to make this for my mama and daddy, my mama has the same conviction I do. That's why I'm doing the apple cider vinegar. There is no way she's going to put some alcohol in her body, okay? That's just our convictions, okay? So I'm doing this in the apple cider vinegar. Glycerin. There is is it called vegetable glycerin? I think it's called vegetable glycerin. I'm not familiar with that, y'all. You can either ingest glycerin. She's out again. She probably thinks she talks to that camera all day long. I took a break. She's playing frisbee with the dogs now. Okay. I got a few more swallers. Okay, glycerin. Glycerin, you can either ingest it a little bit, or it's mainly used too if you get the vegetable glycerin and a food grade glycerin. But the glycerin is also topical, so you can use this for making soaps and things too. You know, the hardener for the soaps. Okay, so glycerin. I knew there was another one. Okay, now let's talk about the ailments that this is good for. The benefits is, listen to this, antimicrobial, which means it has good bacteria. Expectorant, helps you get up all that phlegm and stuff, upper respiratory issues. Anti-allergen. Y'all, this is one reason why people need to know goldenrod is the anti-allergen. Blame it on ragweed. Anti-inflammatory. Okay, any kind of inflammation. Y'all, inflammation doesn't just mean sore, achy joints and muscles. Any kind of inflammation that you have, you get a sinus infection, guess what? Your sinuses are swollen and inflamed because of the infection. You get an ear infection. Your ear tubes, your ear canals are swollen and inflamed because of an infection. Anti-inflammatory. Your lungs, when you get pneumonia or COVID, there's that dreaded word, COVID, and everything in here is congested, inflamed, inflammation. Anti-inflammatory. Antiseptic. Topical wounds, burns, eczema. That's the reason why a lot of people make salves. And the oil and the glycerin is used for topically. Wounds, eczema, psoriasis, rashes, poison oak, poison ivy. Oh my gosh, y'all. I may do some in oil specifically for my boys, and let me tell y'all why. My boys can just look at poison oak, poison ivy, poison sumac 10 feet away and still break out with these little boils and stuff right between their fingers. It gets them every time. And during the summer when they got to weed eat and stuff like that and get near all this stuff, y'all, it breaks them out so bad. I feel so sorry for them. It breaks them out so bad. And for some reason, they can even wear gloves and it still gets on their skin. They will do the bleach. They will do the calamine lotion. They will do it all, y'all. And I feel so sorry for them because they're just clawing. And it's all red and blister and rash going up their hands. And I'm like, boys, I'm so sorry. So I'm going to write this down. Do some in oil for poison oak, poison sumac, poison ivy. I made myself a note. I'm going to do a jar, and I will probably do smaller jars for them and set it aside and let it steep. Let it steep, and give both of them a jar for during the summertime for the poison oak and poison ivy. I just made myself a note. I got you covered, boys. Okay, let's see what else. It's a diuretic. What does diuretic mean, y'all? Detoxify. Y'all, goldenrod is a good detoxifier. We're going to get to this. Y'all, this is going to be a long little section, okay? So grab you a notebook, pen, piece of paper. Start taking some of these notes, okay? Diuretic, it's like a detoxifier. It helps flush out the intestines, the bladder, the kidneys. Y'all, my medication I have to take for rheumatoid arthritis, they have to do blood work every 3 months. For one, to check my white and red blood cell counts. For number 2, to check my iron. For number 3, my liver, my lipids, my platelets, okay? My kidneys, they have to keep an eye on my kidneys because of this medication. So this helps strengthen my kidney, help it do it antimicrobial, helps my kidney do its thing, because y'all, I told you my kidney has to work twice as hard because I don't have a gallbladder. I had to have my gallbladder removed when our oldest son was 2 years old, and I don't have a gallbladder, so my kidney has to work twice as hard to break down my food, get rid of wastes, okay? I'm putting stress on my kidney like that. Number 2, taking an medication that puts a little stress on the kidney. I'm going to be flushing it out, okay? So it's a diuretic. I'll get to some more in just a second. We're going to cover some ailments, but this is the benefits. It's an antioxidant to help block radicals, cancers. It helps block that, y'all. Not today, Satan. Diaphoretic, she said. I've got to look that up, what it means. Diaphoretic. And an astringent, like wound care, stuff like the antiseptic cleanses. Astringent helps heal. One of them helps heal, the other one helps clean. Okay, y'all see all the benefits? Okay, now let's get to some of the ailments. Okay, urinary system. It flushes out the urinary system, detoxifies UTIs. It helps ward off urinary tract infections, or if you've already got a urinary tract infection, make you some tea. I gotta hurry and drink this, y'all. Okay? Flushes out the kidneys. Kidney stones. It helps break them down. Flushes the kidneys. Bladder infections. Upper respiratory. Anything. Sinuses. Chest. Throat. Lungs. Upper respiratory. RSV. Allergic rhinitis, which is the RSV. The children get it, okay? Allergic rhinitis, sinus infections, seasonal allergies. This is the one that's going to help relieve the allergy symptoms because it's an anti-allergen. Ragweed is the one causing it. You're welcome. Go away, ragweed. Let's see. Oh, y'all, you can make a scrub with this. It helps dander on cats and dogs. Mange. You've got an animal that's got some really dry skin, or an animal that's like stray and has mange. goldenrod is pollinated by the bees, not the wind. I wrote that down. Ragweed is airborne using wind. The bees carries the goldenrod. The wind carries the ragweed. Goldenrod is sticky and heavy, so it's not going to be flying around in the air. Ragweed does. Okay, I jotted that down, and I put an arrow back up to the top where I was talking about the difference between the goldenrod and the ragweed. Muscle pain and arthritis, relief from aches and pains, acute injuries, sports-related injuries, tendinitis, wrists and hands, carpal tunnel syndrome. This is why you can make do it in oil or glycerin, and you can make a massaging oil out of this. Y'all, massage therapists uses this, okay, in massage therapy. The achy joints and muscles, they'll mix a little bit of lavender in with it, and do the achy joints and muscles. Physical therapy, tendinitis, aches and pains, acute injuries. It increases mobility, lower back pain. And it's also good for itches and swellings. If you get bee stung, wasp stung, yellow jacket, red wasp stung, put a little bit of that on there, a poultice, or put some of your tincture on there. Make a little tea bag, boil it down, save that tea bag, save that boiled the plant, and use it as a poultice to put over a bee sting or something. Okay, it helps healing wounds, burns, eczema, psoriasis. Cardiovascular, heart health. It stops certain kinds of cancers. It blocks it. So your heart health. It helps purify the blood. It helps oxygenate the blood. Okay? It helps with type 2 diabetes, insulin resistance. Chronic inflammation is a #1 culprit of a lot of diseases today and autoimmune diseases. This is anti-inflammatory pharmacy, y'all. Cold and flu, fever, mucus in the lungs. See, all that upper respiratory crap. Each species has its own qualities. There's 130 different species. Some are stronger than others. You need to find out what is native in your area, in your region, and you can go to your county extension office, and they should be able to tell you if someone is educated enough in that department. Find out what species is in your area and find out its qualities. The longer you brew it, okay, this is getting to make the tea. The longer that you brew your tea, you steep it, the better, the more you're going to draw out of the plant and the flower. You're going to use like a 1 to 2 teaspoons of dried plant to 8 ounces of water. Y'all, that's all I got wrote down. Okay, let me take this last swig, y'all, so I can it's getting cold. Last swig. Okay, y'all, I wrote it all down. That is medicine in a cup. Okay? I know a lot of people are like, she's like a fanatic. What are they called? Tree huggers. So, okay, I don't care. Y'all, what if natural disasters? We just went through, I don't know when this video's coming out, y'all, but think about it. We have natural disasters. Someone gets sick. The stores are closed. The stores got washed down the river. The food supply chains were shut down for a while. Stores were closed. Things were flying off the shelf during natural disasters. Y'all, what if you can't get your hands on medicine and you have a baby or a child or someone who gets sick and there's no medicine on the shelves? What are you going to do? Somebody gets sick. What are you going to do? What if you get tired of taking medicine? Like I do, y'all. Sometimes I just get tired of it and I'm like, there's got to be a better option. What are you going to do? You've got to have a plan B. This is a natural medicine that covers, this is like a multi-purpose medicine cabinet that you've got right here, okay? You can collect it fresh, do different things with it. You can preserve it in oil, alcohol, glycerin, or vinegar, either fresh or dried. Use it ingesting or topically. God's Pharmacy, y'all. You can't get any better than this. That's the benefits and all the ailments that it helps. Now that diaphoretic, I'm going to have to go look that one up, okay? I just wrote it down, okay? So I can spit it out to you. I will link her video down in the description box below. I know this video is super long, but I'm hoping that you got something out of it. You benefited from it. It's maybe got you to thinking about, you know what? I might need a plan B. What if I can't get to the store? What if I can't? I mean, what's it going to hurt? But now remember my disclaimer at the very beginning. Please check with your doctor. Please check and make sure it doesn't interfere with some other kind of medications. I've already looked it up to see if this is going to interfere with my arthritis medication, and it's not. So I'm in the clear. Okay? Just please do those two things, okay? Read about it, research it, see if this is something that interests you. And if it does interest you, y'all, I hope I've gave you enough information to at least get you started. The rest of this video, the second part of this video, will have to come later when I have those that I am doing right now. When I finish all this, has infused for 6 to 8 weeks. I'll come back and I will show you what it looks like, how I'm going to put it up, and I think I'm going to go in there right now and reserve some for my boys and do some in some oil and do some topically, okay? I may research how to do some salves with some shea butter and beeswax, coconut oil. Y'all, that might be my next thing. I might do something. But right now, I'm sticking with teas. I got to start out small, y'all, and work my way up. I will learn more as I learn more and research and try and experiment. There will be videos. There's one of those little spiders crawling up my tripod here because my goldenrod is still sitting there. I hope this has helped y'all in some way. I am so sorry this was so long. Thank y'all for hanging out to the very end with me. Check out her video where she can explain a lot more. And I will catch y'all in the next part of this one and let you see what all I've done with them, okay? I hope this has helped y'all. Think about it. Pray about it. See if it's for you. If it is, give this a try. If you do, come back and tell me how it works for you, okay? And your family. And if you did something different, let's share some ideas. Let's chit-chat in the comments below, okay? I will see y'all in the next one.